So here we are, turn 9 at this point, and this brings in the A action. Now there's no phase 1 because there's no more troops, as in there is no more, unless we make it to turn 15, which will be pretty monumental for me. So I'll use this quick couple of minutes to discuss some updates from Mr. Martin Akerlund again. Big thanks to him for taking the time to make all these notes. So some of the screw ups that I've made, none of them are hugely bad this time. Couple of things where obviously I made a mess, well, not a mess, but didn't do perfectly with the counter attack thing. Counter attacks, they're meant to keep the counter attack depth marker, but you flip it so that it just keeps the colour rather than the actual strength value, which I also wasn't adding the strength value in. So there was one instance where I never added the strength value in, which would have meant the Japanese should have got another card in a close combat. Oops, my bad. Counter attacks, I'm not sure if I did it or not, but just for future reference, the counter attack, they only move, they don't actually fire on a counter attack. In one instance I think I attacked a Japanese unit with range fire only, where you can't do that. You need to have at least one unit adjacent to whoever you're attacking. You need to have at least one unit adjacent. The garrisons, apparently you don't have to put a whole ring of garrisons like this. The only thing you need to do is leave them in the Japanese hexes. So I can take these ones away and only leave that one. And apparently you do the garrisons first, then in the next turn you flip the HQ, whereas I did both in the one turn, which was bad. I take this garrison away, whoops. I can take this guy away. Oh, I hope I could put that back in the right place. And I can take that garrison away. So I only need the two garrisons in the Japanese hexes. And I still command the hexes around the HQ. So these guys still get their free moves, even though the garrison's up there. Let's see, what else? Yeah, at the end of phase 1, for the landing phase, I'll bring somebody in here, this recently deceased, for an example. At the end of phase 1, and I've put them into the landing box, jolly good. At the end of phase 1 I was not putting these guys the next phase out. The reason being, obviously, as I said previously, I may end up hitting them with my hand and knocking them over. But these guys need to be there because, as Martin pointed out, when you get, just grab a card, when you get an artillery symbol, the artillery in the card are actually aiming for these guys who aren't even in yet. So you need these guys at the end of phase 1 because artillery are going to fire for these guys first before they even get to the beach. So I need to remember that for future games, that end of phase 1, the next turn must go out because they're potential targets. So I need to remember that, as if I'm going to remember anything, but I will try. Let's see, what else did I screw up? Smoke. If smoke stops a unit firing into the beach hexes, the Japanese unit can still fire away from beach units. So I need to remember that. When killing off a counter attack, you disrupt it, then you flip the counter attack depth marker, then you kill it. So I need to remember that. Similar idea with the P action for patrol. The patrol, if possible, is going to hit the guys in the boxes who haven't landed yet. Again, they need to have them. And I think that's it for corrections. Whew. And that's just some of the corrections that Martin gave me. There's loads more. So, without further ado, let's go to phase 2, the event phase. Okay, phase 2, the event phase. We have this one. Take a naval fire marker. Yes, please. I'll do that. If you say so. And I shall place it, this guy, the naval fire marker, whoops, is this guy, and we shall place him over here next to our dauntless airstrike marker. So we have 2 markers that we can use, which will get us 9 strength each time in a battle. Fantastic. Phase 3, the Japanese fire phase. Let's see what we get. Oh dear. We have red star, blue A action, which is a new action for this turn, and the brown R, and triangle. So, red. We have a red here. Where are we? Red. Yeah. So it's got, well, no, it's got no any. There's no any letter in it, so it's not going to do anything. That's fine. I was thinking it would have an action, but it doesn't. That red's empty. There's a red over here, and it's not going to do anything because it can't fire across the water. I don't think you can see it anyway, but it's just a bit of stretch of water here. So all good for red. Blue, I'm not entirely sure why I've left that empty, which could very well be a mistake on my part. Let's have a look. The A action. It's unoccupied, and A action would be ambush. Place 1 US unit with the target symbol in the position's field of fire is hit. So someone with a triangle in the blue field of fire gets it. And it's probably going to be this guy. He's only got 1 hit left. He's going to be a 1-hit wonder. Yeah. We will go for this guy. Takes the hit. He's a 2nd unit to get bumped off. And yeah, nothing else. No resupply or anything, so that's good. Whew, that was close. Needless to say, at some point, someone is going in there fast. Let's see, other blues. Blue here. A action, no US units in the field of fire. Artillery position, no. Artillery position would be artillery fire. Non-artillery position, this guy, would be an assault. He's going to move to a position within 3 hexes and closest to the US unit. If US occupied, conduct close combat. No, because all these places are all filled by his friends. So that's not happening. Unless he moves up to here. That's a possibility, because that would get him closer to us. Okay. Closest to US unit. Okay, so yeah, I think this guy is going to move to here to get him closer to us. It doesn't mention if he fires. Move to, just says, non-artillery position, should assault. Move to position within 3 hexes and closest to the US unit. If US occupied, conduct close combat. full stop. Doesn't say fires when he moves. So that's not so bad. Let's see. Any more blue? Blue. This guy's blue, but he's thankfully disrupted. Jolly good. Jolly, jolly good. That's it for blue. Brown is going to be this guy. Hope that's just in camera there. This guy here is brown. With the R action. I don't think it's going to do much for him. Occupied, US units in the field of fire. R action. Resupply. Depth marker. He's already got one. And fire anyway. So, either way he's going to fire. Which means this guy here is gonna get it. And he's got a depth marker. Does he? Oh yeah, he does. I thought that was one of the fortification markers there, but that's a depth marker, so his second hit is going to be this guy. The units are dwindling fast. So, he's done his bit. There's no browns here. I've got that hex. And that is that for brown, I think. Yep. So, disruption markers. One comes off this blue guy. And that's it. This purple guy keeps his. Yep. So, I think that is it for the Japanese fire phase. And phase 4, second event phase, we have Semper Fi, conduct 1 extra US action this turn. Woohoo! Bonus. I have no idea who Semper Fi is, but I like him. So, that's the end of that, and it's on to the HQ phase. Phase 5 is the US HQ phase, and we don't really have any HQ or any garrison markers to add, but we do need to update our range. So these two guys now have a range of 2 hexes. So this guy, instead of having a circle around him of 1 hex, he now has a circle around him of 2 hexes, which again, it doesn't cover any extra Japanese hexes, so I don't have to place any extra garrisons, and basically that's it. That's the end of phase 5. Okay, here we go. We have phase 6, US action phase, and obvious contender for getting bumped right away is this guy. If I use the 2 free moves for the HQs, that'll be 4. He gets doubled for being in the jungle, that's a 2. 4 against 2. We are flanking him, so he would get bumped. So, without a doubt, he gets bumped. Goodbye him. Not sorry to see you go. So, he's had his turn, and the guy below gets a free turn, and he's going to move into that hex. So there we go. Jolly good. Right. This guy, I'm thinking we use, these two guys are pretty much the same. 3 strength each. This guy's 7 strength, tank below with 2. So I'm thinking if I use 2 of my paid moves, then 7 and 3 is 10. If we include one of our markers, that would be 19. He would be 8 because he's in the jungle. The depth marker doesn't get doubled, so he would need a colossal depth marker to beat our 19. So, do we go for it? And even then, which one of the two do we use? Do we use the naval gunfire? Do we use the dauntless airstrike? Let's use the dauntless airstrike. We got it first. So we're going to dauntless airstrike this guy to get him the hell out of there. So let's reveal and see what he's got. So that's 8, and the depth marker, flank of 2, yes. So that adds to 10. We are flanking in both cases, we've got bazookas and everything. So 19 against 10. Let's see. Attack strength. Where are we? 19 against 10. Greater but not double. Depth marker eliminated and unit disrupted. Oh man, I hope we just bump him off completely. What? Ah, if that had been a 1, we would have wiped him out completely. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. You're lucky this time, pal. Yeah, next time you won't be so lucky. You mark my words. Right. Okay, so that's the 2 paid moves gone. And this guy's at a turn, and that guy's at a turn. And that's the 2 paid moves. I still have 1 paid move, because I got a free move in the second event phase. So, let's see. Free moves. Free moves for this guy and the 2 below, and this guy and these 2 guys. They get free moves, free move, free move, loads of free moves. Right. This guy's left it, he's not getting free moves, but he's going to stay there and guard that hex anyway. I'm thinking these guys possibly start to make a way through the jungle, either behind this guy, because it's steady fire rather than intense fire. We try and go around the back of this guy. Failing that, we can go with this guy. So I'm thinking this guy, because he's going to give some nice free moves. Could maybe go in here, which would grant some of these guys free moves. These guys can move to here because there's no steady intense fire, it's just steady there and there. Oops, he should his move. Let's see. I don't know if we want to attack this guy at the moment. We'll wait till we maybe get some more people. So, in fact, this guy gets free moves because the HQ has now got a range of 2 hexes. So this guy would get free moves. Let's move him. Intense fire there. Sure, it's probably going to be intense fire in there. Yep. So either way, he's not going to go very far. These 2 guys, we'll take a risk and we'll move them up to here. And famous last words, hope that purple and green don't come up next time. Keep these guys here. This guy, as I say, gets free moves. maybe move them into there where he came from. Again, these guys get free moves. I'm thinking we move them up to the red. Possibly take this guy on at some point. Again, free move. Yep, let's move him up. Start a charge towards these guys. They've been getting it too easy. And again, move him in there. This guy gets a free move. And we'll just move him up to there. These are just, we own green, so intense fire doesn't count, so we can move him a couple of hexes. HQ, so again these guys have got free moves. Let's see, I reckon we take him up here to try and bump this guy. He's going to be a 6 because he's in a city or buildings. So I reckon we move these guys to here, this guy to here for a bit of backup. Again, free moves. Yep, move that to there. This guy here. Free move for this guy too. Yeah, he's not going to get very far. Get to there. This group gets free moves. They can do a bit of travelling because we own this whole section here pretty much. Who have we got? A tank and this guy. Let's see. If we go 1, 2, we don't want to go into that one. Or we could head across this way. Let's see, let's think about this. We go 1, 2, yeah, let's go 1, 2, 3. That way we can go either way. Yeah. And these guys unfortunately don't get free moves. This guy's disrupted. Still a tank. He's flanking. Artillery. Pass. I think that's it. Still got one paid move, the free move that we got. We could use that. I don't think there's really anybody else to move. At some point we're probably going to have to flip the command posts back to HQ and move them and then flip them back again so that we can follow up to get free moves again, because these guys are all going to lose their free moves. I think that's it, because there's no way one of these two guys can beat that tank. That's not happening, not in my lifetime. Yep, I think that's it. And while I remember, remove that guy's disruption marker, which I may have forgotten to do that last time, but what the hell. Right, I think that is it for the US action phase, and that marks the end of turn 9. Next one will be turn 10, which is pretty much the farthest I've ever been in this game without getting absolutely massacred.